Alright, in problem number 4, we are asked to create an expression for part A using r and x that can be used to find the length of AB. Now, the problem that I have with this problem that I wrote to the creators of this review was that they said find the length in degrees. Now, I have a problem with that because length is never measured in degrees. Length is always measured in units. I think what they were trying to say is because we're not actually plugging a real value in, I don't know. I still have a really big problem with this saying in degrees. Arc length is never measured in degrees. It's arc measure that is the degrees. So I don't really know what they were trying to get at, and they haven't responded to my email. Well, they responded once, but I thought it was an insufficient answer, so I wrote them back that their answer was insufficient and told them all of the ways that they were wrong, and they haven't let me know. So, I don't know. But you guys know this. This is just asking you to write an expression for the length of AB. Well, the length of AB is just part of the circumference. So all you have to do is take the circumference and multiply it by the arc measure divided by 360. Kind of crossed out arc measure. That's supposed to be a division line. So the circumference of that circle, let's see, this is the radius. So they want us to use all of those variables. Now they don't want us to use the variable diameter, or the variable d for diameter. So remember, circumference is pi times d, but the diameter technically is 2 times the radius. So a lot of times these tests like you to write it in that way. So I'm going to write 2 pi r, because 2 times r is the diameter here, and then pi. And then times the arc measure. Now this is a central angle, x, so I know that my arc measure is congruent to that. So that's going to be x over 360. Let's do a little simplifying. We can multiply. Oh, I would actually cross-cancel here. 2 will reduce with 360 and make 180. Remember, we're not cross-multiplying. We're just cross-canceling. And then I can multiply across. So I get rx pi over 180. And I just put that in alphabetical order. Maybe they would want it to be pi rx, because don't we usually put the pi in front of variables? Maybe. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing due to the commutative property of multiplication. So I'll just write it pi rx over 180. So that would be the answer here. Pi rx over 180. Then they wanted us to get an answer if we plugged in 3.75 for the... Oh, so they're saying if the circle was dilated by a scale factor of 3.7. So basically all that means is if it is dilated by a scale factor of 3.7, your original equation is just going to be multiplied by 3.7. The reason why it's not going to really be anything different is because we're just talking about an arc length. That's a liney part. When we use scale factor is just talking about the liney part. If they were asking us a question about area and they said the scale factor dilated by 3.7, well then we would have to square 3.7 to talk about how the area changed. But since we're just talking about liney parts, we can just keep that factor exactly the same.